Hello, friends. Just an update on my visit here at Ateneo. Apparently, the last time I visited was sorry, May 17, 2024. Uh, the intent to this for the visit was because I wanted to inquire about Ateneo's PS Biology program, and as careless as I am, I left something valuable uh, during my visit at the Costa Hall. I was very careless. Um, kind of partly because I could have returned. I remember um, noticing that I left something, but I said to myself, I won't be able to come back to Ateneo until I finished my first quarter grade 12 exams, because it was May 20 until May 21 that exams were due. So I still needed time to prepare. The next day was the greening at De La Salle for those coming from the College of Science. I also passed De La Salle's BS Biology program before I requested if I could shift to chemical engineering, uh, which I got accepted in. It's kind of sad. The keyboard itself is a part of the Logitech case. That's a combo touch. It's pretty expensive. I sure spent some quality time with it before I lost it. It was very useful, although I don't really use the keyboard. For the iPad, it definitely serves proper use for being um, for completing the armor feature of the case itself. We all know that iPads these days are very thin and fragile, so those cases are very useful. I'm gonna miss Ateneo. I'd definitely go Ateneo if they offered certain courses like pharmacy. Sorry about that. I just ate lunch. I'm glad that everything's over. Like, everything that I have to worry about at this point is how I prepare for chemical engineering. I plan to take the SAT this August of 2024. I still want to apply for college abroad. Even if you qualify in the big four here in the Philippines, that is UP, Ateneo, De La Salle, and University of Santo Tomas, having a foreign degree is still way better if you plan to find work in that specific country. And particularly the US is very notorious. Even if, according to my readings at Quora, people who have certain knowledge in this kind of topic, we can consider them opinion leaders. They basically said that he is an Ateneo graduate, this person. He is currently in the US. He's working at the US. According to his experience, even if Ateneo and De La Salle are considered prestigious here in the Philippines, especially Ateneo, because even though it's Big Four, it's coined as Big Four, Ateneo and UP are the only ones actually that are at the very top. They're usually regarded to be equivalent to US education. De La Salle, maybe, sure, but then UST, it's the fourth among the big four. So there's a struggle in that sense. But anyways, yeah, it there's something called discrimination, in the sense that because you have a foreign degree, there's a good chance that U.S. employers can not recognize the name of your university, even if here in the Philippines it's considered one of the best. I think I made the right decision. I think I already said this in the previous video, but I'll say it again. Definitely, in the US, it's already mentioned that BS Biology is one of the useless degrees if you don't plan to continue graduate school or go for a PhD afterwards. So I got scared in that regard. I didn't, although yes, I don't have any plans to go masteral or PhD after BS Bio, if ever. But then my intent for going to BS Bio, for enrolling in BS Bio, is because I wanted to use it as a pre-med, studying pre-med here in the Philippines, and basically going med school in the US or Canada or Australia, any of those three. But particularly in the US, they don't accept foreign pre-med graduates. That's the thing. So even if the name is Ateneo, there is still this kind of reluctance in my heart that keeps me from going all the way, from securing my slot here in Ateneo. Again, I also mentioned this in the previous video. I did pay the reservation fee already, but I just feel like yeah, chemical engineering in De La Salle is more promising. Although yes, I've already researched this too. Biology itself, majoring in biology is very difficult. What more chemical engineering? I'm not sure about this particular source, but I still remember the hardest course in college is usually natured in biochemistry, biochemical sciences, and the third rank is chemical engineering. Maybe biology is around I'm not sure, maybe 10 or 7. But definitely Chem Eng is harder than bio, and I have to prepare for that. Some people may ask, coming from my story right now, why not just study abroad? You said earlier in this video that getting a foreign degree is way better. Well, it's not that simple. Life is never simple. I wasn't permitted to study abroad by my personal, basically my dad. Yeah, father-like figures in my life. So yeah, it wasn't easy. I think they are aware of the consequences, even if it's Big Four here. Even if you graduated in Ateneo or De La Salle, it's difficult to settle for work abroad. It's a foreign degree, you may face discrimination. Not just, I remember they mentioned about me having the tendency to be discriminated while studying there. Well, I think that's, I recognize that to be an issue, yes, but I think it's more of a problem if you try to find work there and you're being discriminated with your salary. Because college discrimination in college will only last for so long. You usually only last 4 to 5 years in college, and after that, you're in the corporate world. Bullies won't bother you anymore, and yeah, all that sort. But if you graduate with a foreign degree, there's a tendency for you to experience salary discrimination from your employer. And that's the reason why, even though I never thought that I'd go engineering, I have to. I mean, I'm not exactly bad in math, but I have to give it a try. It's my only way to escape this matrix. The Philippines definitely isn't that ready yet in raising students, graduates who are capable of international qualifications, because in terms of international outlook, only the big four are usually considered. Everyone else, every other university in the Philippines, unless you're very lucky, it's really a hopeless chance. But I'm just happy that De La Salle gave me the chance to go chemical engineering, and yeah, all I have to do right now is to not screw it up. De La Salle University uses a trimester system, so it's more basically there are two things that happen in a trimester system. You have less vacation, you have less time for vacation, and it is more difficult to cope up because everything will be more fast-paced compared to a non-trimester system. But what I'm happy about is, in terms of chemical engineering, only University of the Philippines and De La Salle are regarded or recognized in terms of international outlook. Other universities, no, they aren't. So I'm vouching on that. Ateneo is a great university. Definitely in a different lifetime, I'd go for Ateneo. Definitely. If I'd go business or management here, I'd be here in Ateneo. If I could drive already, I already do have a license, but I'm still not permitted by I'm not yet permitted to drive a car. It's complicated. How did I get the license in the first place? Well, I did pass driving school, so yeah, but I didn't win their hearts. That's the thing. They definitely do know how to drive already. Especially Ateneo is, usually the way to get in is by car. So yeah, I could bike here to Ateneo, but it's not sustainable for me in the long term. If I do it every day, I need more energy. I need to conserve my energy in school instead of transportation. So yeah, the world will know that I went De La Salle instead of Ateneo for both good and foolish reasons. But yes, like what they usually say, follow your passion. My passion is to ensure that I'd be able to find work abroad. Because in the economy of this country, in the Philippines, well, aside from, of course, the salary, another reason why is because I don't want to stay in this country. I don't want to stay in the Philippines forever. Healthcare is kind of terrible. Aside from that, of course, yes, the salary is kind of low. Even if you have a proper salary, if your health fails, you'll be in debt in no time. And yeah, just to break it to you, my family support won't last forever, so I have to seize the opportunities. They can only support me for so long. The same people who didn't allow me to try out universities abroad. Even if the tendency is it's easier to study there. And aside from it being easier to study there, aside from the fact that it's easier to study there, having a degree there in that country makes it easier for finding work. I just don't see why they don't see things in this kind of perspective, which is, frankly, I think the only kind of perspective that's true. Ateneo isn't so hot after all. I misjudged. I thought I'd sweat all the time, but I guess not. It's actually one of the pulling factors as to why I didn't choose Ateneo, because the tendency is I'd sweat all the time, and it's a very uncomfortable feeling. But I guess I'm wrong. It doesn't have to be like that all the time. What time is it? Oh shoot, it's 1:27. I have to get back. I think this is gonna be my last stay, my last visit at Ateneo. This is gonna be so sad. But cheers to the future. I have to keep studying math and a bit of chemistry. Who knows what awaits in 5 years. I hope I succeed. I've already shown my mettle by passing the asset and by qualifying here in Ateneo, even if I'm going to La Salle. I hope that in the way that I prepared for the asset and the DCAT, that is the De La Salle entrance exam, I hope it would be a success. I've memorized all of the formulas, the theorems, ideas that revolve around industrial processes. I think that's the very heart of chemical engineering. My passion is medicine, but I guess I'll have to take a detour. It's not the end anyways. I did research about chemical engineering and career opportunities afterwards. You can go on to become a chemical engineer, or you can continue in the masteral, I think it's called Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, MS, instead of BS. Or you can go on to the doctorate level, or I'm not sure if doctorate and PhD are the same, but aside from that, you can also use your chemical engineering degree to qualify for med school or pharmacy school. But definitely, the degree isn't limited to those two. It's 1:30